But anyway, talking about Japan, this is really strange because
Hold on.
lady in my...
The first part was not strange?
Well, yes, that was. This is
This is the really strange part.
This is not strange at all.
Okay.
But talking about Japan, a lady in my, I guess mother's, like an online Facebook group, was saying that, she was a teacher. She was saying she was doing her monthly grocery shop. That's bizarre that she shops monthly.
Why?
That's pretty good.
Okay.
And it was about 8 a.m. and there was all these students buying energy drinks at 8 a.m. in the morning because she was like, you guys want to know why behavior management's so hard? Well, there's like a bunch of students buying energy drinks in the morning, right? This is the picture that they put up around their school to try and deter people from drinking energy drinks. So this particular person, this man, his name's Austin from Sacramento, California. He started drinking energy drinks when he started like working long hours and commuting. And his wife or partner Brianna got like a call one day saying he's had an accident or something like that. Or something's happened, come to the hospital. She gets to the hospital and he's had a brain hemorrhage and he was in a coma.
Oh my gosh.
Bearing in mind she was also
I can't even look at that.
She was 9 months pregnant as well, so she had a baby anyway. But they did a toxicology and that ruled out drugs, and the doctor said he thinks it's due to excessive energy drink consumption that had caused his brain hemorrhage.
Do we know how much he was drinking?
It doesn't say how much he was drinking. So he had to have
God,
surgery.
Energy drinks.
He had to have a number of brain surgeries. He had unexpected strokes, seizures, and swelling of the brain, and they had to basically remove the whole front part of his skull. So if you have a look at the picture, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. But he has like half a head, basically. It looks like half his brain's missing. But
this picture is actually more freaky than the bloody Japan dolls.
Yeah, so I had to look into the energy drinks a little bit further. So we know that they're high in caffeine. So they have mega doses of caffeine and sometimes other stimulants. A rheumatologist, Rula Haj Ali, says that they find that some people who use them come into the hospital with strokes and severe brain hemorrhages, and they're typically young people, otherwise healthy, in their 30s and 40s. She said that they can get a stroke after downing an energy drink due to a reversible cerebral vasoconstriction syndrome, or RCVS for short. It's a sudden spasm of the brain's blood vessels that restricts the blood supply and causes the hemorrhage, blood supply. Now, she said RCVS is reversible. It's not a benign disease, but some people have a stroke and never recover. And in some cases, people can die. So they don't know exactly why the energy drinks trigger RCVS. And they say sometimes some people have been consuming them for so long, they become more sensitive to it as it goes on. But for other people, it could be their first energy drink and can happen.
Wow.
I know. And she's like, unfortunately, there's no way to test for who will develop RCVS and who will not. And I think the symptoms are basically like the worst headache of your entire life that comes on within minutes, and just shaking.
Does this happen to excess coffee drinkers? Is there any cases for excessive?
Okay, don't take away my coffee.
Maybe, but if you consider that, doesn't one drink of energy drink have about 7 coffees in it?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
I'm not sure. Hey, Siege, how many energy drinks did you used to drink?
One a day.
Oh, one a day.
Maybe 2.
Oh, that's not excessive.
And maybe 2 a day. Depends on because I used to do that 4:30 shift.
Yeah.
And finish at 5 at night. If I was doing that, I'd have 2.
Right.
So the thing about energy drinks that I only know from when I was in the States, because I don't put it on the packaging here, but on the can in the States, it actually tells you that the can is 2 servings, not 1. So you're only actually supposed to drink half a can.
Right.
Oh.
See, I used to have like the shots as well.
See, this started with those, didn't it? Like that. They
Jaeger
were before
bombs.
energy drinks became. No.
No.
5 Hour
It'll be the energy drink shot.
Right.
Oh.
You remember those?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You used to pick them up at like a petrol station or something.
Yeah.
I think I had like one ever of those because they were just terrible.
Mm.
But
I used to drink them every day.
this seems like, not to negate the seriousness of this, but this seems like just anything. Like you could pick anything in the world that people consume, and some people have negative reactions to them.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's not negative is this podcast. You can consume as much of this podcast as you like, and it won't be negative.
Hmm.
Oh, a little commercial.
Plug there.
So I'm on another thing. It says from drinking coffee to having sex to blowing your nose could temporarily raise your risk of
Drinking
rupturing
coffee to having
a brain aneurysm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
to having coffee and sex give you a brain aneurysm.
Could do, and blowing your nose can temporarily raise your risk
How do people blowing
of
their nose?
rupturing a brain aneurysm.
Have you seen
Brain
them on the
aneurysm.
football field, Siege? Some of them are like projectile, like you don't want to stand in the way. They could kill you, especially when they hold one nostril and they blow. It's like far out, mate. You left a dent in the ground.
And
So
how
these are the
vigorous are they having
percentages
sex?
as risk percentages that can contribute. There's 8 factors. Coffee consumption, 10.6%. Wait, this is the fraction of subarachnoid hemorrhages that can be attributed to a particular trigger factor. Right. Coffee consumption, 10.6%. Vigorous physical exercise, 7.9%. Nose blowing, 5.4%.
Wow.
SEX, 4.3%.
What? What are you? What? SEX is less than blowing your nose.
Yeah, straining to poop.
Emma, by the way, we are all adults here. You can actually say the word sex.
Straining
Who do
to
you think's
poop.
listening to this podcast?
Yes. Like, I am not sure, but like,
Yeah, we're all over 18. Yep.
we're all over 18.
Yep.
I'll just make sure we tick
and I
no,
like to
not
think
for kids.
everyone here's experienced it.
Well, it means everyone
So
here can spell. So straining to poop is 3.6. Cola,
3.6 for pooping.
Coca-Cola.
I don't understand. My mind's blown that like blowing your nose is a 5, and on the shitter where you're on
Hello, where's your nose compared to your...
Yeah.
It's
Ass.
like right next to your brain.
Pressure in that.
yeah, it's pressure in your brain. You go, you're squinching everything up in the head. It's hot
I'd
in
say
the
having
asshole.
a baby should be on here. Anyway, Coca-Cola, 3.5%. Being startled, 2.7%. And being angry, 1.3%.
So going to that first city in Japan and having the shit scared out of you could cause this hemorrhage.
Where does energy drinks fall on this scale then?
Yeah. Nada.
I think that comes into the coffee consumption because they've got such a massive mega doses of caffeine. So that would be the first one, 10.6%.
I
That
found
was
the
from
funniest thing in this
Science
article
Daily,
that
by the way.
Emma couldn't say the word sex.
Go on, do it for us.
No,
You can do
fine.
it. Say it. Say
No,
it.
I'm all good.
So is it
So-
weird that when I saw the picture of the guy, like, I just didn't have a reaction to it because he's not the first person I've seen with half a head?
Oh,
Yeah. Like the half a head kind of freaked me out. I was like, this is weird.
I've-
Why has it got half a head?
So
Who else?
Slight tangent, but there's a guy I watch on YouTube who's a BMXer. And
you've
I
talked about
first
him.
started watching him 4 years ago. You'll know this because we talked.
We talked
when I
about
went to
him.
New Zealand, I just started watching.
Oh.
So I started watching him, and then within a week or 2 weeks of me watching him, and this guy, by the way, was a 9 times X Game medalist, like very, very good at BMX, globally known, invented new tricks kind of guy. So 1 to 2 weeks after starting watching his channel, he had an accident where his tire in like a pothole basically, and he just flipped over the handlebars and smacked straight into the ground. And he had to have the front half of his skull removed like this.
Far out.
So since watching that channel, I've now just been watching this ex-super athlete go through from full paralysis. He's now back on his bike and riding his bike again. He's still quadriplegic, like he's still not got full motor functions and everything. But it's really impressive to watch. Scotty Cranmer YouTube channel, I recommend giving it a watch if you want some inspiration.
Okay.
Hey, are they paying us? No, we don't. When he gives us sponsorship, then we'll advertise.
If I ever own a club, I'm having CJ on the door. I'm having him on the door. Can we come in? Have you paid your cover charge? No, then stay out there. Hello, he'd definitely be my
So
doorman.
is his brain still he has his whole brain? It's just the skull is removing part of the skull.
No, there's no brain there. Like the back,
It can't be.
there's the back half probably.
But isn't the front half is where you do most of your thinking?
Frontal cortex, they always...
Because I was thinking maybe his brain's still in there, but it's not propped under the thing, and it's just like
I don't think you can squish a brain in.
no, but
Well,
It's not like they
your
go,
brain
I can make
doesn't-
it fit.
Your brain doesn't take up like the entire space inside your skull, does it? That's why you can get like
That's what I was
concussions and
thinking.
stuff, because you
I'm
can
not
rattle
sure
your
about you,
brain
but mine
into your
does.
skull.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sure about mine does.
And your
all right?
brain,
I got a
your
big brain.
It needs space to be able to swell as well.
My brain's
Okay.
always swollen.
I say that. This guy does look like he's missing
What I have
parts,
thinking
right?
I do.
I'm researching this.
He does look like Steph Curry from the side there, right? Like I'm not the only one who thinks that. In the black and white.
I
at
didn't.
least.
Nah.
I didn't see it.
I looked at it for a couple of seconds and I had to turn away.
The first time I saw someone with half a skull was when I was a kid, and I remember a news article about a guy who worked on a cargo ship, and the crane was moving something, they accidentally dropped it, and it just clipped the guy and smashed his head, but not enough to kill him. And they had to remove front part of his skull.
In that situation, I would prefer probably to,
I think
Yeah.
living. I mean, he wasn't like this guy was missing front half of his skull. I think living is a good option.
It's
I'm
called
not
it.
sure if I
It's
want to
called
live like with
hemispherectomy.
part of my brain missing.
Why? You're not going to notice.
Yes, I am.
Unless, when you're not looking in the mirror. It's not like you're sat there like...
So apparently, this particular surgery, hemispherectomy, has no apparent effect on personality or memory. First performed on a dog in 1888. And then
What did the dog do to deserve that?
Dandy pioneered the operation at Johns Hopkins University in 1923 on a brain tumor patient. The man lived for more than 3 years before succumbing to cancer. But then they do it for some people with like loads of uncontrollable disorders as well, supposedly. But let's see. This 16-year-old girl was suffering loads of seizures. They stopped once she did it. Loads of people who suffer dozens of seizures every day, and that the medication doesn't work on. This seems to cure that. Like, what the?
I feel like this is kind of experimental, where they're just like,
Yeah.
we don't know how to solve this. This does work. It's probably not the best solution, but let's just take away part of the brain.
talking about experimental, right? Have you ever watched Lucy, the movie Lucy
Isn't that a
Yes.
With
scary
Morgan-
one?
Yes.
with Morgan
Okay.
Freeman?
Yeah, and
Is this
Scully
another
and-
horror?
No. And they were like, when Morgan Freeman was doing his theoretical talks about the brain and stuff, right? And then they started comparing our brain, and we use probably maximum up to 10%, maybe. And then they were talking about the dolphin, and they used 20%, right? But their 20% has evolved. I don't know how much is factual because I'm just seeing it in my head. But they have a sonar, inbuilt sonar, and that's why they're like dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they can see spatial spatial awareness. Yeah, spatial
That's my
awareness.
attempt.
And they,
Sorry, go on.
and then, so yeah, they use sonars, and that's 20% of the dolphin. The dolphin use 20% of their brain, right?
Oh.
Anyways, there's this drug, another made-up thing, but it's a great concept. So whenever like the baby gets their about to become and get their form, there's this thing that that the wife, the mother produces is CP4. I don't know if it's made up, but it's CP4, and this is the chemical that gives.
Are you actually quoting the movie?
Yeah, quoting the movie. But I'm just saying,
just making sure.
just as a concept, right? It's just interesting as a concept to say that they took that chemical that the mum produces, CP4, they synthetically created it, and then this woman accidentally took a large dose of this CP4, which allowed her to open up her brain and see 100% usage of the brain, which is like, as a concept, is wow. Imagine you could.
So,
Anyways.
from my understanding, or a couple of thoughts on this. My understanding, the whole 10% usage of the brain isn't to suggest that people only use 10% of the functionality of their brain, but they only use 10% at any one time. You
At
use
one
100%
time, yeah.
of your brain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which makes me think if you used 100% of your brain all at once, you'd probably just be having a seizure.
Oh.
But having the ability to do it 100%.
Without a seizure.
Without a seizure.
But all those, if you get you use your parts of your brain to do different things. So you'd just be doing all of those things at once. It's not like a battery and you're saying, or a CPU and you're like, oh, we're only using 10% of the power. It's like, no, they actually just do different things. It's like trying to drive a car, watch TV and iron at the same time. Like, why would you want to do that?
Because maybe
I didn't know that.
Maybe the perspective could be it could open your, imagine smelling everything, so like you said, we only use 10%, right? So imagine that limits the amount of senses that we can use at one time. But imagine if we're doing something and we can use all senses at the same time. The perspective would totally change. Like you could feel,
probably be
breathe.
a bad experience. That's what I mean. Like I don't see a way this is a good thing. I see it more as a bad thing.
Oh.
He's thinking it would be too much on your body, maybe.
I mean, think about Bruce Almighty when he first gets the powers and now we can hear everyone's that was a terrible time for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having to. This is a hypothetical, whereas nothing bad happens.
My other thing, dolphins.
Unless you go to that place in Japan.
This was kind of cool with the dolphins' brain thing. They can make they when they sleep, they only sleep half of their brain at a time.
Oh, who's that? Dolphins.
Yeah, they have to. So half of
when
their
they
brain
sleep, they only sleep.
I brought up
They
that
have to
thing
be
about
still alert.
Oh.
That'd be kind of cool.
that thing about the 10%, and it brought up that movie.
Lucy, it's funny. It's just an interesting concept. So if that
was a terrible movie.
Yeah, it was a terrible movie, but you got to see it as the concept.
Maybe
the
someone needs to redo it.
20% that the dolphin use at one time, they can use up to 20% at one time. The dolphin.
Oh, I don't know. You said that.
Yeah, but that's what they said in the movies. But what I'm saying is, if we're able, I don't know if you're right. If we use 100% of our brain, it might be just overwhelming at the beginning. I don't know.
But
I just wonder where our brain would evolve into if we start using more at the same time.
So
see how.
My thought is the reason that we don't do that is because there's an evolutionary advantage to not do that.